It seems like nowadays, if you made it big on YouTube, you have your own candy line. So today we're gonna take a look at Ryan Trahan's Joyride and see if it's any good. See how it stacks up the normal gummies, and really, is it worth buying? Is it worth going out of your way for? Are all these YouTuber products actually amazing, or do they just have a name on them? So I got 4 of Ryan's Joyrides here. I didn't get the watermelon wedges, all right? Not a huge watermelon person, so I left those out. But I got 4 I was really curious about, and we're gonna dig into them. We're gonna rate them on a scale from 1 to 10, and we're gonna see which one's the best. So Ryan Trahan, are you ready for your Joyride to go under review? All right, we're gonna start with these Joyride Sour Smack Gummies. Not a huge sour person, but you know, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a whirl. I'm a gummy person, so I can put up with one to get the other. All right, these are these little sour gummies. They're like little faceless people, I guess. They don't even have a face or nothing. They just look like a doll, I guess. If you're gonna like make the most generic doll ever, you know, maybe I want some expression on my little dude or my little dudette, whoever I'm about to eat. Anyway, back to what we're doing. All right, sour gummy. Sour people. Wow. Yeah, okay. Tell you what. If you really like sour stuff, those gummies are pretty good. Not a huge sour fan, but if you are, I'd recommend those. They're on the chewy side, on the very, very sour side. So if you like sour, that's on you. All right, let's see. See what we're gonna give these sour little people. Sour little people smacks, that's what I'm calling them. All right, sour little people smacks on a scale of 1 to 10. We're gonna give these, on my gummy scale, we're gonna give these a solid 6. 6, I think they're pretty good. I might be a little biased because I'm not a huge sour person, but the gummy aspect was pretty good. Sour, whoo, it's there, definitely. All right, that one was interesting. Now let's dig into bag number 2. And that is going to be these Joyride Berry Ropes. All right, they look interesting. I don't know. All right, here we go. We got one of these Joyride Berry Ropes here. Bada bang, bada boom. I'll break this in half. Oh, wow, look at that. It kind of feels tough. Kind of doesn't feel as fresh, maybe. I don't know how else to put that. It's the only way I could think inside my head. All right. Let's see. Showing. Come on. All right, there we go. Woo! Got it. All right, so. All right, interesting. So that's okay. We gotta start somewhere. Basically, these berry cherry rope things, they kind of taste like Twizzlers. If Twizzlers were like, I don't know, a lot harder to chew. I want to give them, okay, a little bit harder. I won't be that harsh on you, Ryan, all right? But these are a little bit chewier than these gummy people. I'm assuming they're people. Don't really know. They look like they could be. But these gummy ropes, a little bit chewier than those gummy people. And the flavor's just not there for me. It's just not. You know, it's chewy, that's great. You know, gummy's chewy, yay, but I want some flavor. And with these chewy ropes, there's not any flavor there. So, yeah, you fell over. You know why? Because there's no flavor. Bam, that's where you should go. All right, you gummy ropes. Where are you gonna wind up on my gummy scale? The gummy scale. These gummy ropes are getting a big fat 3. Yeah, I think you could do better on that. Really, I think you just shouldn't sell those. I think you should just take those off the market, quite honestly. Not a huge fan. I think they're like kind of below average at best. Hate to break it to you, but those aren't the best thing. All right, let's see what we got next. We got these Joyride Sour. What is it? Sour blue raspberry strips. What the heck's a blue raspberry anyway? I don't ever seen a blue raspberry. You ever seen a blue raspberry? I sure as heck haven't. All right, I got this big, huge bundle of sticks from this package. Strips, they're not sticks. They're strips. They're very Oh my gosh, they're like very tiny, thin strips. I can't even get them all apart, they're so thin. Why you make them this thin? Nothing in the world needs to be this thin. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, look at this. I hold this up to the light. I can see the light. Like, my hand. You know what I mean? Like, look at this. I'm making shadow people here. Like, what is this? Why is that so see-through, Ryan? Definitely looks like a lot of those, like, little sour flakes on there. All right, let's see how this thin blue raspberry sour strip tastes. I don't know. Ah. Okay. All right. I see what you did. I see what you did. So. Yeah. All right. So, what can you expect when biting into one of these blue raspberry sour strips? I'm gonna tell you exactly what you can expect. First of all, the taste kind of reminds me of a fruit roll-up. That's what I kind of think happened there. I think you took a fruit roll-up design, cut them into strips, splash some sour on them. All right, so that's the first thing you're gonna notice. It reminds you of a fruit roll-up. And I like fruit roll-ups, so you know what? That's a plus. But they are not nearly as sour as these sour people over here. Like these sour people, super sour. These sour strips, like mediocre sour. Like if you're not much of a sour person, but you like some gummies and maybe some sour, I guess it's a good middle ground. If you're not trying to go all out, definitely not too bad, not too shabby. All right, last but not least, we're losing these clusters over here. These Gummy Busters. Gummy Busters, Ryan. All right, now these look weird. You remember that movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? It's kind of what these remind me of. You remember those little gobstoppers? Very, very interesting design. They're hard too. You know, I like these other gummies. They got that soft outside. It's got like a shell on it. Nice hard shell. All right, down the hatch we go. I missed that one. Next. My elbow. All right, you know what? Third time's a charm. I still missed. How did I miss one right from my mouth? All right, we'll go with number 4. All right. Gummy Buster. Very unique. Oh, we didn't rate these sour strips real quick. While I'm contemplating that Gummy Buster, let's give those sour strips a rate. Now, what do you think? God, that Gummy Buster's different. Definitely different. All right, so while I'm still tasting that, those blue raspberry sour strips, giving it a 5. Kind of like middle of the road. Not a whole lot of flavor there. A little bit of sour. Might be okay for the right person, but I kind of want a little bit more flavor in my gummy, Ryan, you know? Give me more flavor! So, back to these Gummy Busters that look like gobstoppers. You know what these remind me of? You ever get those snow caps from the movie theater? You know, you want to go watch a movie, and you got those chocolate-covered snow caps, you know, little like Hershey Kiss type of deals. And got those little white dots on them. I don't know, whatever it is. That's kind of what the shell reminds me of. The texture, all these little dots on there kind of remind me of those white little dots on those snow caps. But it's like biting into a snow cap, and instead of getting a mouthful of chocolate, you get a mouthful of gummy. Very interesting, unique. Look at that. You hear that? It's hard. It's hard. That's funny. Sound test. We're gonna drop a gummy and a guy. Gummy and a guy. Oh man, I could hear the gummy. Go hear the guy. Guy falls silently. Ready? Oh, it's so loud. That's how hard that shell is. But it's really not that hard, because when you bite into it, it breaks apart. Super easy. So, Gummy Busters, definitely an interesting candy. You know, different. I haven't tasted nothing like that before. So, what are we going to give that one? I'm going to give it anything, really. So, those Gummy Busters. We are gonna go with a big fat number 8. That's right, Ryan, number 8. For my gummy rating, you get an 8. Mainly because of creativity. Never tasted anything like that before. You know, the hard shell and soft gummy inside, very different, very unique. Making up words. Haha. Very unique. So, I like those. Big fan of those. Good job on that one, Ryan. These ropes, you could take these ropes, you could just throw them away. Because I don't know who's going to want to eat them. I'm not going to want to eat them. They taste like a whole lot of nothing, and they're hard to chew. So, these 3, though, not so bad. We got these little Joyride Sour Smacks right here. If you really like sour, go for it. You got these Gummy Busters I can't keep in a bag to save my life. You know, if you want something different, unique, you've never tried before, go with that one. If you just want a little bit of flavor and just a mediocre amount of sour, that's where these blue raspberry sour strips come into play. So, that is Joyride under review. Next time, we're going to try something else. We'll see what it is. Till next time, I'll see you there. Take care.